I had just pressed the button on my garage door opener when a noise cut through the quiet morning like a razor. A scream. Sharp. Panicked. Ferocious. That's my car. He's stealing my car. Someone call 911. I froze. Not because I was confused, but because I recognized the voice instantly. Patricia Brennan. The queen of our HOA. Our self-appointed neighborhood watchdog. Or, as most of us quietly called her, the tyrant in designer slippers. I turned toward her house just in time to see her burst out the front door in a blindingly bright pink bathrobe, curlers bouncing like she'd been electrocuted. She was clutching her phone in one hand and waving wildly at my driveway with the other, as if she'd discovered a crime scene. Her coffee mug flew from her hand, exploding across her perfect lawn in a caramel brown splash. And all I did was stare. Because she was pointing at my garage. At my BMW. At me. My name is David Holloway, I said inside my own head, almost laughing at the surreal sight. And apparently, I'm stealing my own car. But honestly, I should have seen this coming. Because Patricia had been circling me like a hawk ever since the day I brought that BMW home. I bought the car at a public county auction. A mint-condition 2019 BMW 5 Series. Metallic blue. Clean interior. No drama. 3 years of saving finally paying off. And I loved that car. I kept it polished, parked inside my spotless garage, lit by the bright LED strips I installed myself. But not everyone was happy for me. 5 years living across from Patricia, and she had barely acknowledged my existence. Then suddenly one day, she showed up at my door with a tray of cookies. Cookies. Patricia Brennan. Cookies. Her smile was stretched so tight it looked painted on. Oh, what a coincidence, she said sweetly, though her eyes were scanning my garage. I ordered the exact same model. Should be delivered any day now. Sure, Patricia. Sure. And then? The offer started. Well, if you ever want to sell that car, I'd be happy to take it off your hands. Full price. No questions asked. Every time I declined, she got a little colder. Every no I gave her was like a dagger to her ego. By week 2, I realized her friendliness had a timer, and it just expired. But honestly, I should have seen this coming. Because Patricia had been circling me like a hawk ever since the day I brought that BMW home. The violation letters started appearing in my mailbox like a plague. Garage door left open too long. It was open for 7 minutes while unloading groceries. Unsightly vehicle storage causing visual pollution. The car was inside my garage. Door closed. Noise disturbance due to mechanical work. I checked my tire pressure. At 2:07 p.m. On a Saturday. Reflective surfaces creating a hazard to motorists. The sun reflected off my garage window. Driveway needs resurfacing due to microscopic oil spots. You'd need a microscope to see them. And the grand finale, the most obviously targeted rule. All luxury vehicles must be registered with the HOA for insurance monitoring. A rule that applied only to houses on my street. And mostly, mine. She wasn't hiding her intentions anymore. She wanted the BMW. Or at the very least, wanted to punish me for owning it. So I installed high-definition security cameras everywhere. Garage interior. Driveway. Side angles. Everything synced to cloud storage. Because something told me she wasn't done. Turns out, I still underestimated her. I had a downtown client meeting. I grabbed my briefcase. Pressed the garage button. The door lifted slowly, revealing the gleaming BMW. And that's when Patricia exploded out of her house screaming. Stop him. He's taking my car. She was waving a stack of papers like they were sacred legal documents. That's my brand new BMW. It was delivered yesterday. I have the paperwork right here. I stepped forward, palms open. Patricia, this is my car. I bought it at a public auction 2 weeks ago. You've watched me drive it every day. She was too far gone to listen. Her voice cracked as she shrieked into her phone. He hacked my garage opener. He moved my car into his garage. He's been planning this for months. Tears. Screeching. Hyperventilating. You would have thought she was auditioning for a crime drama. But I stayed calm. Because I had more than proof, I had every second on camera. Ossuaries. Unsightly vehicle storage causing visual pollution. The car was inside my garage. Door closed. Noise disturbance due to mechanical work. I checked my tire pressure. At 2:07 p.m. On a Saturday. Reflective surfaces creating a hazard to motorists. The sun reflected off my garage window. Driveway needs resurfacing due to microscopic oil spots. You'd need a microscope to see them. And the grand finale, the most obviously targeted rule. All luxury vehicles must be registered with the HOA for insurance monitoring. A rule that applied only to houses on my street. And mostly, mine. She wasn't hiding her intentions anymore. She wanted the BMW. Or at the very least, wanted to punish me for owning it. So I installed high-definition security cameras everywhere. Garage interior. Driveway. Side angles. Everything synced to cloud storage. Because something told me she wasn't done. Turns out, I still underestimated her. 2 squad cars rolled up within 10 minutes. Officer Morrison. Detective Walsh. Both stepped out with that look, the "oh God, it's one of these calls again" look. Across the street, Patricia was putting on the performance of her life, crying, pointing at me, insisting I was running a luxury car theft ring. He stalked me. He hacked me. He stole my car before I even got to drive it. Officer Morrison approached me. "Sir, we received a report." I cut him off politely. "I understand. I have all documentation, and I'd like to give you full access." I opened the glove box, pulled out the folder I keep for everything. Auction listing. Cashier's check. Bill of sale. Title transfer. Time-stamped photos of pickup. Insurance. Registration. Morrison began flipping through the papers. Meanwhile, Detective Walsh took Patricia's statement, though it sounded more like a fever dream. When she dramatically waved what she called dealership paperwork, Walsh inspected it. It was a screenshot. Not a receipt. Not an order. Not a confirmation. A screenshot of BMW's online car configuration tool. A saved design. She literally printed her fantasy car and tried to pass it off as legal ownership. Walsh raised an eyebrow so high it nearly left his forehead. Officer Morrison typed the VIN into his onboard computer. 2 minutes. That's all it took. Then he said the words that finally cracked her mask. "Ma'am, this vehicle is registered to David Holloway. It was purchased at a public auction and has been legally registered and insured in his name for 2 weeks." Patricia froze. Then, because she couldn't admit defeat, she pivoted into pure madness. "Well, the HOA has the right to reassign property if it threatens community harmony." Walsh blinked. "Are you saying your HOA can legally confiscate someone's car?" "Yes," she insisted. Section 47, subsection C. "I held an emergency vote this morning. I approved it unanimously." Walsh stared. "You voted, with yourself?" She nodded proudly. That was the moment both officers realized she had completely unraveled. Walsh raised an eyebrow so high it nearly left his forehead. Officer Morrison sighed. Ma'am, you've made a false police report. That's a criminal offense. Patricia's voice rose an octave. I deserve that car more than he does. Do you even know who I am? I've been HOA president for 15 years. She jabbed her finger at me, shaking violently. He sits at home pretending to work. He's nobody. Ma'am, that's enough, Morrison snapped. You need to come with us. You can't arrest me. I'm the victim. She turned and tried to run. In slippers. Across wet grass. Her slippers flew off. She stumbled. Morrison grabbed her arm. 20 neighbors had gathered, filming. The queen of the HOA was being marched to a squad car in handcuffs. This is a misunderstanding, she screamed. He framed me. He hacked everything. Someone call my lawyer. They shut the cruiser door, cutting off her shouts mid-rant. Detective Walsh handed me his card. Save all your HOA letters. You're probably going to need them. He wasn't wrong. I sat in the back row as Patricia Brennan stood trial. Charges. Filing a false police report. Attempted fraud. Misuse of 911. Criminal harassment. But the investigation uncovered something else. She had been embezzling HOA funds. Tens of thousands. Over several years. Mostly spent customizing the BMW she dreamed of buying. Her obsession with my car suddenly made perfect sense. She wasn't just jealous. She was spiraling, financially and mentally. The judge read her sentence slowly. Mrs. Brennan, you weaponized your authority and emergency services for personal gain. You are sentenced to 18 months in prison, 3 years of probation, and ordered to pay $50,000 in restitution to Mr. Holloway. The gavel slammed. Patricia's knees buckled. Her lawyer grabbed her arm before she collapsed completely. This isn't fair, she sobbed. That car should have been mine. But it never was. HOA drama is usually petty. Trash cans. Grass length. Mailbox color. But this? This was something else. Patricia didn't just cross a line, she sprinted past it and then set it on fire. You never really know how far someone will go until they think they deserve something that belongs to you. And sometimes, justice takes a while. But when it finally hits, it hits hard.